Well, hello, and thanks again for sending in questions related to our recent sermons. This last week, we took a look at God's promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that they would have descendants or offspring that would eventually come back to the land. And as we know, throughout the Old Testament, the land carried much significance for the Israelites when they were exiled. To return home was a central theme in their hearts. And so in the course of this sermon, though, we talked about that the real promise for the land was not for this acreage on the east of the Mediterranean, but it's for our final homecoming, new heavens and new earth. That is the real land that we will occupy forever, because as the biblical story unfolds, we find that the promise for the land is forever, that the descendants of Abraham, or the ones who are in the seed of Abraham, will enter into the land and occupy it, not for a while, not for 1,000,000 years, not for 10 million years, forever and ever and ever. And so we know that is not this earth, is what God's talking about. So the question comes in this week is, well, does current Israel still carry importance? Is that part of God's plan for how history will unfold, that there is this nation state over there right now called Israel? Is that still critical to the biblical storyline? And so in one way, everything is critical to the biblical storyline. God has a plan for absolutely everything in this world, absolutely every square inch of this world. There is a plan for it. And so in that sense, yes, there's still a plan for Israel. And there certainly seem to be, or could, depending on how you parse out the events leading up to Christ's return, it seems like Israel could play a role in that. Some people believe that a temple would need to be rebuilt before Christ comes back. If it is, that would take place in Israel. If that takes place in Israel, Israel has to exist for that to happen. And so it's certainly possible that a nation state plays a certain role in the events that lead up to the end. But again, in an ultimate sense, that is not the promised land. That is not the forever home. That is not the homecoming to which we are promised when God says, I will give your descendants the land forever and ever and ever. It's not that. It's the new heavens and new earth. And so, really everything else in this world it's temporary. It is part of a temporary story arc that's leading to an ultimate destination. And that ultimate destination is, again, new heavens and new earth. So certainly wouldn't say unimportant, but I wouldn't say anything is unimportant. We're all going to play a role in how God completes history. And so we pray for people in Israel, same as we pray for people all over the world. They would come to a saving knowledge of Christ, put their faith in him, so that they can be part of that ultimate final homecoming at the end of the story. So thanks for the question. We'll see you next time.